Good morning, Paradise Valley. Welcome to Coffee with a Cop in November. It's hard to believe it's November already, but as I was coming in, I was noticing that the temperature is cooling down significantly and it's getting beautiful out there. So I'm hoping you're enjoying some of the cool weather. Today, we have a special guest with us who's going to talk about gas pipeline safety. We have had several gas leaks in town. In some cases, we've had to evacuate residents for their safety. We've not had life-threatening injuries at this point, but it's always best to prevent these hazards to stay safe. Today we have Ali Ocano Gonzalez, who's going to share more on this topic. Thanks for being here this morning, Ali, and welcome.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for having me. And I'm very excited to present to you guys today.
Well, you can start your presentation when you're ready.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Once again, my name is Ali Ocano Gonzalez. I am the Education and Awareness Manager at Arizona 811. And I'm going to go ahead and turn off my video now so we can focus on the presentation and we'll get started. So during this presentation, you're going to learn important safety measures everyone should take when excavating near underground facilities. You'll first learn about Arizona 811. So who is Arizona 811 and our role in damage prevention and safety. You're going to learn about submitting an 811 ticket before any excavation. So understanding the 811 process and how long before excavation contact is required. And we're also going to talk about safe digging. So ensuring all safety precautions are taken and comply with Arizona's underground facilities protection law. So you see the little infographic there, do not dig yourself into a mess. It is the law in Arizona, as it is in all 50 states, to contact 811 before doing any kind of digging. So I'm actually going to share a short video with you guys, and then we will go ahead and move forward.
Did you know that the lines that carry many of the vital services to your home, like water, internet, and more, run underground? Did you also know that it is the law in Arizona to contact 811 to have these underground lines marked prior to any digging project, installing a fence, planting or landscaping, or any project involving digging? Contact Arizona 811 to have your underground lines marked. The request is free, the process is easy, and in Arizona, it's the law.
All right, so our mission statement is to perform excavation notification services and stakeholder education that promote the safety and welfare of the community by protecting underground facilities from damage. So we will talk a little bit more about Arizona 811 and how we kind of are the communication center. So when people contact Arizona 811, what we do is reach out to all of those underground facility owners. So those utilities that we all depend on, power, water, internet, sewer, everything else. And then they send somebody out to mark those underground facilities so that safe digging can take place. So we'll talk about some Arizona 811 facts. First and foremost, Arizona 811 is a private nonprofit organization. So Arizona 811 is solely funded by the underground facility owners and operators who are required to be contributing members according to Arizona state law. As a result of those contributions, the services provided by Arizona 811 are completely free and are considered a service to the public and the community to help protect the underground facilities and vital services. Also, Arizona 811 is not a state agency. Therefore, we are also not an enforcement agency. A division of the Arizona Corporation Commission is, in fact, the agency in charge of enforcing the law under the Arizona Revised Statute that is titled on your screen now. We'll see that a little bit more further along, which is also known as the Call Before You Dig or the 811 law that requires a locate ticket before any kind of dig job. As far as getting in contact with Arizona 811, a locate request can be done by simply dialing the 3 digits 811 and speaking with a locate specialist. And of course, you can only reach us when we're open. We are open Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. And the schedule does exclude weekends and holidays. You could also go to Arizona811.com and utilize our online tool like Exactix to process a locate request, and that is available 24/7, 365. And then just a few more pieces of information on that locate request. Our contact center does receive over 700,000 utility locating requests per year, 80% of which are actually completed online using our Exactix system. So what is our focus? Our focus is safe digging in Arizona. We do cover every single inch of the state, and that is so that we can prevent serious injuries and protect vital services from damage. I will share one more video with you here.
That's my neighbor, Joe. Hey, Joe.
Hey, John.
Joe's about to make a very big mistake. Hey, Joe, you think it might be a good idea to call 811 to have your underground utilities marked before you start digging?
John, that's just for big projects.
Actually, it's for any digging project. Congratulations, Joe. You found your electric line. Remember, safe digging always begins with a free call to 811. You want to borrow my phone, buddy?
Somewhat of a comical video that we like to share, but of course there's nothing funny about injury or damaging those vital services. So why do we need to use the 811 process? Obviously, so that everyone stays safe, so that we protect our utilities from costly damage, to help maintain the vital services that we all depend on, and to comply with Arizona law. You see again another infographic there that says prevent utility service disruptions in your neighborhood. 1/3 of US homeowners have been affected by utility service interruptions during COVID-19 pandemic. And that continues to increase. As you heard, Chief, there have been some, gas lines that have been hit. We definitely want to prevent that. So don't risk it. Nearly 2 in 5 US homeowners will put themselves and their communities at risk each year by digging without calling 811 beforehand. So we do want to make sure that we prevent injury or fatalities, interrupting the vital services that we all depend on, resulting in costly repairs or compensating businesses for losses. That is a fact that a lot of people do not know, that when we do hit one of those lines, that person will be responsible for anything that happens. Potential civil penalties issued by the ACC. So the ACC can issue a civil penalty of up to $5,000 per incident, and that would be per hole dug, multiplied by the number of utilities that are present. So that can actually add up. And of course, potential legal action. And a statistic that we do like to share is that every call counts, every dig matters. Every 6 minutes, an underground utility line is damaged because someone decided to dig without first calling 811. And one more statistic is that 23% of hits and near misses are caused by the failure to request an 811 ticket. And of course, that is not surprising, since there are over 100,000 miles of buried facilities in the state of Arizona alone. So the chances of striking a vital line is very high. However, the chances of damaging a buried facility is reduced by 99% when you contact 811 before any dig job, large or small. Important to know that this law is not reserved for professional excavators, contract workers, etc. It applies to everyone, every homeowner, every occupant, every resident of Arizona who is intending to do any kind of digging. So once again, it has been the law in all 50 states and in Arizona since 1973 to contact before you dig. It is outlined in the revised statute that is on your screen and enforced by the Arizona Corporation Commission. We do provide a small booklet that is called the Excavation Guide, which is also available for download on the resources section of our Arizona811.com page. And it does outline the details of the law, and it includes as well a definition of excavation, which we are going to look at next. So the definition of excavation, according to the law, is any operation in which earth, rock, or other material in the ground is moved, removed, or otherwise displaced by means or use of any tools, equipment, or explosives. And it does include, without limitation, grading, trenching, digging, ditching, drilling, augering, boring, tunneling, scraping, cable or pipe plowing, and driving. So in other words, if you disturb the subsurface of the soil in any way, shape, or form, it is considered under the law excavation. And if you do hear any speakers from the ACC, they will say that if you remove more than a spoonful of earth, according to that definition, it is considered excavation. So here are some examples of what we just talked about, of the different types of excavation as it is outlined under the law. And of course, just a reminder that shallow digging is still digging. 1 in 8 survey respondents have decided to dig without calling 811 because they thought their project was too shallow to interfere with buried facilities. So let's not make that mistake. So now let's understand the 811 process. How does that work? It is 5 easy steps, and it does begin with first, you need to contact Arizona 811 by phone or using the online tool at least 2 full working days before digging. Then what happens is that the dig site is mapped out to identify the facility owners and operators that are affected that need to be notified of the plans to dig near their facilities. Third, that facility owner operator personnel will mark the approximate location of the buried lines, pipes, and cables, or will inform you that there is a no conflict. And we will find out what a no conflict is here in just a second. Then the excavator must wait 2 full working days and verify that all of the facility owners and operators listed on the ticket have responded to the request prior to digging. And then once you have confirmed all responses have been received, the excavator can then go to work safely and legally around the facilities, observing the 2-foot rule as described in the excavator guide. And we will define the 2-foot rule here shortly as well. So how to contact us? Dial the 3 digits 811, or if you're in an area or using a phone that 811 will not work, you can simply dial 1-800-STAKE-IT or 1-800-782-5348. Once again, we are open Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 5 p.m., and the schedule does exclude weekends and state holidays. If you are planning to make a phone call, please be prepared to spend some time on the phone. Each call does take approximately 8 minutes on average, and be prepared to give some information or details about your dig site, and be prepared also to receive some important information in preparation for your dig during this call. If you do choose to go online, you can simply go to Arizona811.com and click on the tab that says Exactix. Scroll down to the second option, which is Homeowner Single Address Ticket. And this will allow you to actually create a single address ticket. It is intended for residential use. And homeowners can create single address tickets without any kind of training or username. When creating your ticket or requesting this locate, be prepared to provide the specific location of the dig site, meaning the address or cross streets or landmarks if an address does not exist. Also, a description of the job site, so the starting and ending points for your dig, or a radius or directional sides of the property, street, or area. Is it going to be the north side, east, or west of your property? So we did talk about calling 2 full working days prior to your dig job. So we're going to learn how to calculate that. If you are intending to dig on a Thursday, in order to take into account the 2 full working days, you would need to get in contact with Arizona 811 on Monday, as full working day number 1 is on Tuesday and full working day number 2 is on Wednesday. However, since weekends and holidays are not calculated into that equation, we're going to look at the next holiday that we have coming up, which is Thanksgiving. So if you are intending to excavate or do any kind of digging Tuesday after Thanksgiving, it would be necessary to contact Arizona 811 on Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Working day number 1 would be Friday. Remember, Saturday and Sunday, and of course Thursday, the holiday, do not count. Working day number 2 would be Monday. And then once all positive responses are received, you can safely go to work on Wednesday. So a few reminders: once a ticket is requested, there are a few things you must do to ensure your locating request gets completed without delays. Remembering again to calculate 2 full working days. Weekends and holidays are not considered working days. Also arrange for physical access to your job site or dig site in advance, ensuring to unlock gates and provide gate codes if one is needed for your community. As well as remember to remove or restrain all pets. Even if they look friendly, a locator will not enter if pets of any kind are not restrained. And this will include dogs, cats, goats, ducks, bunnies, horses. If they are present, locators will not enter the premises. Believe it or not, they have been attacked by all of those things. And keep in mind that if those things are not completed, it can add an additional 2 days to your request. Okay, so you've requested an 811 ticket to get underground facilities marked. What is next? You must wait those 2 full working days as allowed by law for locators to respond, and the response can come in one of 3 ways. They can either give you markings that are on the ground, and you will be able to match up those markings with the list that you have been given. They can respond and tell you that there is a no conflict, meaning that there are underground facilities present, but they do not enter into conflict with your proposed dig site. Or they can give you timely notification that they cannot complete the marking request by the due date, but the law does allow you to request a representative to be present for your dig to start if the locator is not able to complete those markings on time. So now let's look at the difference between the markings of no conflict versus no access. Okay, so no conflict once again means that underground facilities exist at the dig site identified, but they do not enter into conflict with your proposed dig site. They will mark a no conflict by using the word no or the letter N followed by the initials of the facility operator. So in this case, this white circle is the proposed dig site. And Southwest Gas has stated we might have some lines in the area, but they do not enter into conflict with the proposed dig site. And the same goes for MCI. A no access is a little bit different. No access means that the locators could not access the dig site identified in order to complete the markings. And a no access is going to be marked by a circle with a slash across it, followed by the initials of the facility owner and operator and the date. So in this case, we notice that it is a gated community where a gate code was potentially not provided. So therefore, on 6/6, APS stated that they were not able to gain access to complete the markings. The same goes for Southwest Gas, Cox, and Quest. And you do notice that there is a difference in colors. We will talk about that color code and how to identify those facilities here just shortly. So how to know when your responses are received? You want to definitely do a field check to make sure that you do have corresponding marks to your list of underground facilities present. Keep in mind that if a telephone or email has been provided, responses can also be received by telephone, email, or electronic positive response through the Exactix system if your ticket was done online. And also do not begin digging until you have confirmed that 100% of all of the facilities listed on your ticket have responded. So how do we identify those colors? Once again, here is a uniform color code. If you notice, white is for proposed excavation. So if you are going to mark out or white line is what we call it, your proposed excavation, locators can more easily mark those underground facilities and let you know if they enter into conflict with that proposed excavation. Pink is for temporary survey. So if you see any markings that have pink dots at the end, that invalidates them as actual underground facilities. They're only used for planning of future projects. Any markings in red would mean that there is an electric line running underneath. Anything in yellow would be gas, oil, dangerous materials, or product lines. Orange is communications, cable TV, fiber optics. Blue would be water systems and slurry pipelines. Purple, reclaimed water, and green, sanitary sewer systems. Keep in mind that underground facilities can be marked by indicators other than paint when the facility is below a non-permanent surface, such as grass, dirt, or gravel. So keep in mind that locators can also use what we call stake chasers or whiskers. They can also put flags along with the paint if the, again, facility is under a non-permanent surface, or they could potentially use offset marks. So an offset mark is going to be a mark placed in the nearest permanent surface if the facility is actually under a non-permanent surface, such as grass or gravel, since the paint runs the risk of erasing prior to the time frame that it needs to stay there. So how do we read offset marks? In this case, Southwest Gas is stating there is a 4-inch plastic pipeline 10 feet from the line in the direction of the arrow. So it could be common that, again, 10 feet from the line in the direction of the arrow, you may see another marking such as a flag, paint, or a stake chaser to indicate where that underground facility lies. And always contact Arizona 811 if you do have any questions or concerns in regards to markings. So facilities on private property, which most of us will probably be doing work, any kind of landscaping or projects in our home. Keep in mind that when requesting for marks to be placed for private properties, utility providers will only mark what they own and operate up to the point of sale, which is typically the meter. So it really will depend where that meter is. Typically, water meters could be right by the street, and anything past that is considered a private line, or power meters could be right up against the building structure or home. So they will mark up to that point. If you are working on a private property, consult with the property owner if you are the property owner and you know where your private facilities are, so you are sure to work safely around those. And examples of a private line could be a water line to a pool, a gas line to a barbecue, or a fire line to a commercial building. If the location of private lines is known, be known to work safely around those to avoid damage. Keep in mind that those are attached to main lines, and if there are any nicks or pulls or tugs, they could cause tension damage to the main lines. And of course, if you are going to do a lot more digging on your private property, it would be a good idea to hire a private locating company. And if you do need to find one, you can simply do a search on any kind of search engine and type in private utility locating in Arizona or consult with the Better Business Bureau. So now you've got your markings and it is time to get to work. Remember to call 811 before starting any kind of digging project, whether it's a DIY project or you hire a professional. Smart digging means always calling 811 before any job. So if you are working with a subcontractor, be sure that the subcontractor is listed on your ticket or they have a ticket of their own for the job. Also, give listed subcontractors a copy of the ticket so they are aware of the dig site description details and which underground facility owners and operators are required to respond. So now that you have your marks and you're ready to dig, be sure to dig safely and respect the marks. The law does state that you must dig using what we call a careful and prudent method, observing the 2-foot rule, also known as the hand dig zone, where excavators must hand dig to expose buried facilities, and you must only use hand tools to carefully expose those facilities. Also, you must hand dig the width of the facility plus 2 feet or 24 inches on all sides of the marked facility until the facility is fully exposed. And then once it is fully exposed, you must support and protect the exposed facility for the duration of the excavation. Remember that you can do everything right and expose that facility using only hand tools, but if it is not properly supported, some of those facilities can be very heavy and they can collapse onto themselves, still causing damage. Also, according to the law, the marks are valid for 15 working days from the date the markings are completed. The law states the marks must remain visible for the entire duration of the validity period. And be sure to know when your ticket expires in case you do need to update it. So if you are working past those 15 working days, a update to your ticket must be completed. So an easy way to remember is at least 2 working days prior to the expiration date or exactly 3 weeks from the date the ticket was created. So if your marks are destroyed in any way during your excavation, be sure to first and foremost stop digging. According to the law, the marks must stay valid and visible for the duration of your excavation project. And if your marks have been destroyed and are no longer visible, you cannot continue digging. Be sure to contact Arizona 811 to request an update on your ticket so the marks can be refreshed to a visible and valid status, keeping you safe and in compliance with Arizona law. So what do you do if you happen to strike a facility while excavating? First and foremost, do not continue to dig. Stop digging. And if there is any kind of escape of gas, leave the area as soon as possible and call 911. So it is the responsibility of the excavator to call 911 as well as to notify the facility owner and operator immediately for any kind of damage, even if it does not appear to be damaged. Even if it is a nick, a scratch, or just damage to the coating, a tug, or a pull, it is necessary to contact that facility owner and operator to ensure that that line is still safe. Also, Arizona 811 does not facilitate repair. However, we can document the situation and request for a locator to be present if there are any questions or concerns about the marks. And then remember, never attempt to repair the line yourself and never backfill it and leave it. Keep in mind that if it's simply just a nick and it is filled back in with dirt, those elements can seep into that line, causing damage down the line. And then once again, a reminder, do not move or destroy the marks. Many times dig sites may overlap without your knowledge and the marks placed may be for other projects. So never remove or destroy marks, even when you have completed your dig project. Never assume facilities will not be present. Do not assume because underground facilities at your dig site are too rural, residential, or commercial will not be present. As the graphic says, underground pipelines and utilities are everywhere. And also never assume facility depth. Although facilities were once installed at the required depths or codes, if earth has been added or taken away, the depth of the facility can change. So remember, depth cannot be guaranteed and can be only inches from the surface. We do invite you to learn more and stay up to date by going to our website, Arizona811.com. We have many resources. We have our education page where we do have online education available, and also our resources tab where we do have some information that is downloadable in PDF version. A few reminders: April is National Safe Digging Month, where we do focus on safe digging around Earth Day. So remembering to celebrate and recognize April as a National Safe Digging Month. And also, the month of August has the highest number of damages reported as it relates to digging. So we do recognize August 11th as National 811 Day, and you will see the theme. 8 is the month, 11 is the day. So that is an easy way to remember. August 11th is National 811 Day. So remember to always avoid service disruptions caused by damaging buried utilities by calling 811 prior to your dig project. And we do like to recognize a few damage prevention partners, a long-running partnership that we have had with Lowe's, where they have placed sleeves on their trees as well as labels on their cobalt long handle tools, reminding people that before doing any kind of digging, installing a tree or a plant, to always contact 811 to have those underground facilities marked, or if using those long handle tools, the warning of not being insulated and running the risk of shock. So always call before you dig. Another partnership that we like to highlight is one that we have had with Phoenix Raceway for a few years now, and one that we are very proud of is in March of 2020, Arizona 811 became the very first 811 center in the country to sponsor an official Xfinity Series NASCAR race, so the Call 811 Before You Dig 200. And we will once again have presence at the championship race this weekend with a booth providing some games and some giveaways. So if you are looking to attend the race, we will be there giving away some prizes. So why do we mention these partnerships? Is that we invite you to be a damage prevention partner as well. And we invite you to follow us on social media. We have presence on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and now expanding as well to LinkedIn and YouTube, providing some educational videos. And we do offer education, news, events, and of course, everyone's favorite, giveaways. We have given things like smart TVs, Amazon gift cards, trees during National or Safe Digging Month, and of course, some tickets to championship races at Phoenix Raceway. So we've got one more video to share with you. Wonderful. So that is our presentation for today, and I would be happy to answer any questions that anyone might have.
All right. One of the first questions we have is there any thought about using paint that completely fades after a month? This would make markings less of a homeowner threat if they have rocks or anything else that the locator paint is over a year old.
Gotcha. So as far as we know, and of course, these are each facility owner, uses their paint. Of course, the color code is already established. However, there is a requirement for them to use water soluble paint. So there is specific paint that they do provide. Now, it really depends on the surface that they are painting on. And that's something that, of course, locators cannot control. But as far as the paint that is used, it is considered a water soluble paint.
Perfect. I don't see any other questions coming in at this time. If there are any other questions that come up, you can always reach out to us and we can connect you with the appropriate resources. This presentation was great. It's very useful information for anybody that does have excavation projects. We have Ali's contact information displayed here on the screen for you. In the next few days, we will post this video onto our YouTube. You're welcome to share it with your HOAs or any other residents who might benefit from watching. For next month, we're going to have a specialist discuss identity theft and fraud protection. And again, that meeting will be held remotely, so feel free to sign up for that. I don't have any other information to share today, but other than your 9 o'clock walks. So every day or before you go to bed, make sure you check your vehicle for any personal belongings. Remove those items, lock them up, go to your mailbox, remove any of your mail, and lock your doors, windows, and set your alarms. That's everything I have. Chief, do you have any ending words?
I don't. Thank you, Stephen. Thanks, Ali, for joining us today, and enjoy your cup of coffee, Paradise Valley.
Thank you, everybody.
you.